We're back. Hopefully you're all still here and not so offended that you've decided to unsubscribe and leave the channel. A couple of things were said last episode that Lewis is starting to feel very, very apologetic for, and he's got something to say to you.
But that's after every episode. I don't really think before I talk.
No, it's fine.
It's
I don't either.
A kind of stream of consciousness, this thing.
It just comes out.
Well, we record it early in the morning, okay, when
it's true.
I've barely woken up, and the last thing I've had time to do is compose my thoughts. And also, I've not really also been very one of these people who can just talk off the cuff about stuff confidently.
I don't know. You always struck me as somebody who can.
This is one of the big points I think that I always talk about, that I am so terrified of being wrong, being picked up on, and being called out.
No, it shows.
That I'm very kind of ambiguous.
tread very carefully.
I'm very equal-sided sometimes in things I say.
Right, yeah.
And whereas some people are so confident and set in their ways, and they'll tell you exactly what they think, and then when they get called out for being wrong later, they'll just be totally unapologetic about it. Some people are quite happy to, like Donald Trump, I guess, is a good example of someone who is just totally willing to just lie, or be completely.
What did he lie about recently? I haven't really been
facts.
keeping up on all of that because I.
Well, there's stuff
really
gets posted on Reddit,
Okay.
from this PolitiFact website or whatever, and when a politician does a speech, it says, Donald Trump said that, all the filthy Mexicans coming in are gonna cause US jobs to get used up or whatever, and the reality is that probably a bit of immigration is a good thing, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the economic facts don't match what he's saying. So he has a certain amount, and we have a certain amount of data at our fingertips. Sometimes it's difficult to translate that data into a punchy 10-second snippet. But the departments of social security.
Why don't they just use some jump cuts? That works.
Jump cuts. Well,
the
problem is that the economic data. We have data on jobs, and we have data on exports and imports, and all these things. The data on people who go to school. We examine all of our kids all the time. We know, exactly what they're doing all the time, and we have all this incredible amount of surveillance going on. This is an enormous amount of data at our fingertips.
Oh yeah, we talked about this the other day. Remember?
The problem is a politician often. I think there's a difference between having the data and converting the data into something that makes good sense and making conclusions from it, drawing conclusions from it. And often people will try and draw the conclusions to fit their own agenda in many ways. But also sometimes in this data there are fairly strong biases or indicators that a certain thing is a certain way. So, for example, immigration, there's probably a lot of evidence to show that in some countries, and certainly in America maybe these days, I don't know, it's a good thing. A little bit of it is a good thing. Having people come in, there's probably some statistics that show, how hard they work versus other people, or how happy they are versus other people. There's probably all sorts of studies done. And the problem is that many politicians are just humans, and their agenda is very locked down to win the next election. And so often they will just not. They will just like I guess it's not lying, but it's definitely not. And it's bending the truth. It's a little bit like what we do here in many ways, or what all humans do. They hear something, interpret something from it, and then repeat that back out. A little bit like Chinese whispers. So
like telephone.
Like the telephone game. Don't get me wrong. Whenever I sometimes I say stuff very confidently, and it's bollocks, and it's because I've heard it wrong, or it's Carl Pilkington's its way out of my head, in that I got completely the wrong end of the stick, and so, oh man, I think it's hard to it's hard to go through life being 100% correct about every single thing. And I think this is something that humans have struggled with for a long, long time. You know, how to live your life. I mean, we don't really talk much about philosophy, but do you follow the philosophical teachings of anyone in particular, Sips, or have you kind of...
Yes, I do, actually. I'm glad that you asked me about this, Lewis. I follow the philosophical teachings of a man called Carl Pilkington.
Yeah, I did mention him.
I think that is a guy who knows what's up in a lot of ways, actually. You know, he asks the real questions. He wants the real answers as well. And, you know, I think it's like... It's just deep, you know? It just makes you think. Just takes you down to that level.
Yeah, it does. But it's the same thing with having a kid, right? Because kids look at the world in such a different angle. Carl Pilkington looks at the world...
Very innocent way.
Yeah, through...
Whoa.
They don't have a filter. They don't.
No.
They haven't been ground down by the realities and everything in the world. There's. Oh my god.
What?
What's going
It's
on
all
in slime?
Everything's fine. We've got lots of slimes producing lots of shit for us. We're in good shape here, but some of them are actually getting up and over the net. Sorry, carry on.
That's all right. I just kind of was rambling about nothing. So I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So you want to read some more comments? Because that went really well last time I found.
Oh god, do you think so?
No, I don't. But it, you know, we could try to find some good ones this time.
The
Some of them
next
were
generation are calling themselves iGen.
iGen. Oh, like because of like Apple. Like iMac, iPad, iPhone, iGen.
Jod125 says we're 98% similar in DNA with a potato. I'm not sure.
Wow.
I'm not sure that's true. I think we're 99% similar in DNA with a mouse, and like 99.9 with a chimpanzee. Maybe.
Is that why they use mice for experiments, like lab experiments?
Yeah, it is
Mostly?
actually.
That's why they feed them cocaine and stuff.
I'm not sure they're doing that.
They do. They want to test and see like how. Oh, I just got some sort of crazy achievement. I don't know what for, but it feels good.
Poor Lewis. He was trying so hard to complete Sips' sentences. Sips didn't even acknowledge his attempt to find out if they are soulmates. So did you...
Oh, I remember that one.
You were trying to get me
that
to
was-
complete your sentence. And...
No, you were trying to complete my sentences and I wasn't paying attention to you doing it.
Right.
Because we were having a conversation about soulmates, and we were saying, like, you know, you meet that one person and they just know what wavelength you're on, and they complete your sentences.
That's right. Oh.
And then after that, for like a couple of sentences, you tried to complete my sentences.
Man, I forgot about that.
That was really sweet. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, what do we want to make these ghost guys into? What do we want to combine them with? I don't think they combine with the rock ones, but I'm pretty sure we can combine them with tabby cats. Want to fucking I'll make some fucking airborne ghostly tabby cats? I'll take that as a yes. All right, fine. Tabby cats.
So sorry. See, this is what happens when you make me read comments. I'm just sifting through this torture. There's so many
cool.
awful comments.
I like
There's
having
some
a
lovely
one-sided
comments.
conversation.
I'm skipping the lovely ones because I'm looking for sort of controversial things to talk about.
No, don't read the lovely ones. Come on, I need it today. I'm feeling a bit down in the dumps. You know, I want to read. Oh, Sips! Holy shit! I can just tell you've got a huge dick. Oh, I bet you it is gigantic. Oh, and it probably glistens in the moonlight, and it's probably got like really nice veins and everything. Like, those are the kind of ones I want. It's the kind of shit I want to hear right now. No?
No.
You don't?
Well, okay.
You're not up for that?
Sure,
Okay.
I'll do some.
Sips, keep up the good working out. Holy shit, you are ripped.
Alex
Man, you
M.
look good.
Fucking hell, Lewis really does waffle. Haha.
That's not a nice one.
Jamie,
See, why'd you do that to
that's
yourself?
111 upvotes. Jamie8242. This year, Team Double Dragon will retire because Sip stabs himself with a Lego piece to escape Lewis's drivel. That's got 100 upvotes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jesus
All right.
Christ.
Okay, we're making some tabby ghosts. You ready?
Yeah.
Here they are. Man, they don't want to eat that fruit. What the hell? Whoa. Oh, man, they're getting really excited in there, too. Okay, the tabby cats definitely do want to eat the fruit. They want to play with it a little bit first. Holy shit, what the
Some
hell?
people complained about me mentioning. A lot of people got very upset actually about me mentioning when I mentioned single mother families. Okay,
Right.
and how that's a very sort of traditionally something which the Republicans and the Conservatives they don't like. It's a kind of one of these things, and I think I mentioned it in context of I'm worried that I'm becoming more conservative as I get older, right?
That's a big fear for you.
It's weird though.
What's one thing you fear in this world? Becoming more conservative.
It definitely is, and I think when you look at the things which these it's definitely more old-fashioned values. You know, something like gay rights is much more opposed by older people and older generations, right? And so I guess what we talked about was I guess what I'm trying to say, okay, is that there's two sides in politics, okay? There's the liberals broadly and the conservatives who are more old school values, okay? And therefore the conservatives are kind of old school. They believe in the things which I guess older people have more value in, you know, like family, okay?
Yeah.
And so I think that a more liberal mindset would be anyone can raise kids anytime as long as they're qualified, blah, 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 blah. I think that, do you know what? I think that, honestly, I think that probably some single parents raise the best kids that exist, okay? I think some of the single parents are fucking probably super amazing. I think that...
Well, that's a big turnaround from what you were saying last time.
I think that... Do you know what, though? I think that all parents probably should be required to, you know, bring up a puppy before raising a kid, you know, or something like that. Should have to... Because I think that a lot of them don't know what they're getting into. And also, the thing I noticed with you and Terps, and also Ben to some extent, is all three of you are sort of terrified that you're going to mess this kid up, and you're like super. There seems to be like a super amount of pressure on you guys to perform. Yeah. And especially with the first kid, you feel like oh, anything that you do might cause. You read far into implications. You say, oh, you know, am I teaching him bad things by doing this, or you know, you got to balance kind of your own fun and happiness with being serious and having responsibilities. Oh my god! So I guess what I'm trying to say is,
yeah. What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that I think that single parents are probably fine. I'm not backpedaling from what I said last time. I think that there are certain things which single mothers. I think it's probably slightly dangerous that we're having this. A lot of single mothers bring up a lot of kids, almost as the norm. Okay, almost as if it's starting to become cool to be the norm. Because I think that family unit is a strong thing to have, and it's a happy thing in people's lives. It's good, and I think that probably the mother misses out on that just as much as. You know, from not having a single from
the baby daddy.
You know, exactly as the kid does, and I think that, but that doesn't mean that they don't bring up kids well. And I think they do, and I think that if they're the right people, then holy shit, they probably do a way better job than a ill-suited family would do. So yeah, are you just squirting apples into the mouth of this?
Is he getting bigger? Can you tell? Because like, I feel like he's gonna drop something cool if he blows up, but. I don't know how many more apples he needs. He does say chomp
when he eats them. So,
I know.
But maybe you could just feed him for fun. I don't know how this game works, Sips. I'm sorry.
I know. Well, I mean, obviously those apples that he's eating are super bad for him too, because full of sugar.
I guess, yeah. I guess I don't really subscribe to any sort of philosophy in terms of that, because I don't know what the answer is, and so therefore it's very hard for me to. But I'm gonna also put out both arguments, because if I put both arguments out and one of them you think is clearly wrong, and then you can just discount it, okay? Because that makes the other one stronger. All right. If I come to you and I say, yeah, you know, I think that all.
What happens if you jump in the water?
I don't know.
Oh, you die.
If I come to you, right, and I say, okay, I now think that all children should be brought up in a family environment. Okay, they should all have a mum and a dad, and we should do our best in society to encourage that. Okay, versus kids don't need a dad at all; they only need a mother.
Right.
Or kids don't need a mother at all; they only need a dad. I think that none of those things are right. Okay, none of those things are equally right. I think it all depends on the situation, the people, 100 factors, and people are all different, and you know, it's challenging. Everything has to be approached on an individual basis, and I think that it's hard to get a scientific consensus on this stuff too, right? It's hard to go to look at what even that means, because what is a good, well-rounded individual? Do we want those? And who are those? I'm not saying that because there's loads of single mothers now that basically we're just going to have a generation of serial killers, right? That's not what I'm saying.
Well, you kind of said that last time. So, oh man. All right. Well, listen, we'll be back next time, and hopefully Lewis can.
Oh my God! Is it another? It's the end of another episode.
Yeah, it is the end of another episode.
It's going so fast. I feel awful. Like the amount of backpedal that is happening here.
You should, because I mean, I was all on board when you were like saying the stuff before, but now that you've gone back on it, I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. So.
I'm so sorry, Sips. I'm so sorry. I should just stick to my insane guns and just
stick to your big guns. That's right. I think that's what you should do too. All right. Well, we'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.